Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and today I'm unboxing and rambling on V-Sabotage. I say V-Sabotage after having just restarted and reset from calling it V-Commandos because I've been calling it V-Commandos for years, and they rebranded as V-Sabotage. We'll get into that and everything else shortly. This is an unboxing and rambling, which means there's a lot to cover, a lot to go over. But first, of course, as usual, we got our coffee shot and our knife all ready to go. Need to make sure that coffee is nice and warm, so I got my little tray over here. This, I should really start doing... Here's the deal. This, by the way, rambling starts early on this one. But here's the deal. I have occasionally here and there tried putting Amazon referral links into my videos. Why? Because if you click on it and buy something, I get money from it. But then I do it for like 3 weeks, and then I check the stats, and I'm like, I made $4.12 from putting 700 links into my videos across the past 3 weeks. And then I'm like, you know what? There are easier ways to make money. And so then I stop. But really, I should try doing it properly. I should give it like 6 months of properly putting in an Amazon referral link into the videos of all my, when I talk about board games, when I talk about this, when I talk about that. And the reason I'm thinking of it now is because currently I have my Ember mug, which is an expensive $100 mug, that I do highly recommend. Maybe if I remember, I'll throw a referral link in there. I don't know. I probably won't remember or care enough. The problem is I like board games. The things that are around board games to make money in board games, I mean, in theory, that's important. Money is important, but I find I just go back to board games every time. We're starting out strong with a lack of focus here. If you are new to my channel, this is an unboxing and rambling. We're going to go ahead and talk about V-Sabotage. I have to pause every single time. We're going to talk about V-Sabotage. We're going to go ahead and open up all these boxes, go through the miniatures. Yes, everything will be timestamped, so if you want to check out the specific section, well, you can go ahead and jump to there. And this, for those who don't know, this is basically the same game system as Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice, this is the same game system as that. Plastic on the floor. And this is the one that came first. This one, Triton Noir. We'll talk about the game, don't worry. We'll talk about everything else. Whatever comes to mind at any given point, we will jump around. Again, miniatures, timestamp, jump to those if you want. V-Sabotage came out quite some time ago on Kickstarter from Triton Noir. It's their, I want to say their claim to fame, although Assassin's Creed is definitely a big deal for them as well. And this one, I think it had 2 Kickstarters, the original base game and then the expansions, and originally called V-Commandos at the time. These rulebooks are a little bundled up over here. We'll get to all of this over here. This has been sitting on my shelf for way too long, ungone through, although I do have to read. You have to read, what is this? This is going to be, some of these rulebooks don't have to stick around because we have them in different languages over here. But let's go ahead and toss those here. We have 2 rulebooks as far as this goes. This is a great system. I'm going to be I don't know what I'm going to be doing here. We'll figure it out. But let's start with the rules. We have our V-Sabotage rulebook over here, starting on page 2 over here as far as game components. We have the Stealth and Alarm on page 4. This needs a good bending as far as just getting it unbent. But then from there, we go all the way up to page 15 or more, where we go to the end rules, credits, tactical advice. We have page 20 over here, so down to page 21, so page 4 to 21, around 17 pages of rules. And if they do this like they originally did, meaning I originally learned this game from the training guide, I think this needs to be like folded up in the right counter direction to be able to like get it nice, and this might work. Let's find out. There we go, and that sort of works. But we have our training guide over here, which, if I recall correctly, this will guide you through the first 3 training missions. So you get introduced to various concepts one at a time, which makes it a very easy guide through as far as the game goes. This is how I learned V-Commandos, V-Sabotage. I will never get it right. And it's a great system. It guides you in pretty quickly and easily. It's an easy game to pick up and learn. We have our silica gel over here. We have our card packs, our various characters. Are these going to be in 2 different languages? Oh, that's a waste. That's a waste. I don't mind throwing out the rulebooks. I mean, I do mind a little bit, but like, what am I going to do? Keep a different language rulebook? But having double cards of everything, that's not quite as much fun. We have our dice over here. We're going to go through this. We'll talk about the game. We will get to the game. I'm telling you, it will happen at some point. These are going to be our little stealth dice trying to define, you know, whether we die, and mostly getting caught by the baddies. This is a game of stealth. That's the game. It's a 1 to 4 player game. I want to say it plays best at 1, decent at 2, and I probably wouldn't recommend it at any other player count. Just from having played it, I think. Did I play it at more than 2? I've played it at 1, I've played it at 2. I don't remember if I've played it at more than 2, but I just don't think I'd recommend it just based on having gone through it. What do we have over here? We have our equipment packs over here. Don't know what this is. We have our tiles, just full of this, well, tiles, that's what they are. These are going to be the various tiles you're going to be, well, going through in the game. You're going to be creating various scenarios from the cards you have over here. In fact, let's open up the cards first. Let's see what we got as far as cards. I think I just have to throw out a full duplicate card pack for all of these. It hurts. It does hurt, but I'm not going to do anything with a bunch of cards that aren't. Again, we have duplicate. Here we go. So we have our Sixth Sense. One commando gets an AP token, or alarm, doing enemy reinforcements. These are going to be the various events that show up as you play through the experience. So you're going to have different events that are affecting you. You're going to shuffle them in depending on the scenario. They're going to tell you specific events to shuffle in. And I'm going to go ahead and do a quick check on this card pack, which I think is sadly... I just don't think it's going to survive, which is unfortunate. And the worst part is the OCD part of me kind of wants to check every single card to make sure it's, you know, the actual international language version. But I'm going to satisfy myself with front and back on these, and then now it's gone. But we have these 2 packs over here. Now this is the really tricky part. Are these the same thickness? I feel like it's the same thickness. We're going to have to open up the front and back again, trying to see the front and back card. I'm going to do this for every single box over here. Every single box is going to want me to look at the front and back to make sure that we actually have them all. Oh, yeah, I think this is all. So here, let's go ahead and open this one and see what we got. So we have the events over there, and then we're going to have the character cards over here, as well as the scenario tiles, which will guide you through that in a shortly. Now, the scenario tiles, they have terrain, colors, and presentations on them, but really the size is the thing that matters. Size doesn't matter. But we'll go over here. We have this over here. As far as this goes, we have our scout, our sniper, and then we have the various locations or the specific operations you're going to be going on. These will have specific almost campaign sequences. We have different things you have to try to go through to unlock. You have streets and bridges, which will unlock the fuel depot, and you'll finish that over there. You have all of these here, and then you have the final spot, which is the weapons depot, which is the same weapons depot card as this international language one, which means we can go ahead. I think it's just French. I'm just saying international language to be careful. But so we have all these cards over here. We have our weapons depot. Let's go back through these. So these are going to give you specific kind of layouts. So you're going to set up a layout. This is the battery mission over here. So you're going to set up the battery mission with those tiles. You're going to define all those. They have a little item key. You know, you have your little gun area, the place where you have a machine gun set up. You have different like alarm tokens, different enemy reinforcement points. You're going to be setting all that up in the game and then just trying to accomplish your mission. Sabotage the shore battery by blowing up. Ooh, that's fun. We have battleship. Blow them out of the water. Sink the ship. There's a ship. Where's the ship? Oh, the ship's in the middle. Oh, that's cool. The ship's in the middle of the... That's pretty cool. Where's the battleship tile? I want the battleship tile. Did I have a battleship tile in my original V-Commandos? Oh, and then we have our characters, by the way. These are going to be the characters you have, which in the original game were all represented by basically just tokens. This is the part where I go grab your token sheets and find you. Oh no, more things to throw out. It hurts. It hurts so much, but it has to be done. Over here, we have our tokens over here. These are going to be various, you know, noise tokens and different things you can gather, different pieces of equipment you can gather. We have our more tiles, which we'll get to shortly. I want the battleship. Where's the battleship? That's not a battleship. These are thick tiles, though. I'll say that for them. We have our little gun areas here. I can't remember the name of these, but these are where you can have enemy tokens. Speaking of which, the tokens for the game. Let's go ahead and show you this here. These are going to be your enemy tokens that come in these over here. And here you go. Here are your commandos. So, and we have a bunch of nicely printed. These, by the way, are beautiful. These are printed to go ahead and throw them out. Keep these tokens. Nope, I lied. Wow, I literally just lied. It says keep these tokens to customize your game. How? Why would I... These tokens... I don't understand. I don't understand. This over here, okay? This over here is a bunch of tokens that say don't throw it out. And it says keep these tokens to customize your game. They're printed on. What am I going to do with them? Like, draw little smiley faces in the corners? I don't understand. Is this meant to just be, like, environmentally friendly? Like, hey, don't throw it out. Keep it in your box? I don't know, but I'm not going to... I'm going to keep them right now because I do instinctively want to listen, but I'm not going to keep them if they're just going to sit in the box doing nothing. So, but we have our various characters over here. These are the characters you have in the game as far as the way the game presents it. So you have little characters. Little, small little just divots of just... That's all you have. That's so you know who the character is. So you can find your matching card. For example, if we want to find this guy over here, this guy's card is, I think we ran past him. You see? There we go. You can match the kind of the top-down view of the character and see that this over here is the officer. Congratulations. That's how you tell who's who in V-Commandos. Now, it's a very... What's the word for it? There's a word for it when something's very Spartan. It's a very Spartan approach to the game where they had these tokens, and that's all the information you needed. Also, I'm realizing I need plastic baggies, which is a different problem. Although the game is very environmentally friendly, but I do want plastic bags to store everything properly, but we'll get to that shortly. But, in any case, back to what I was saying, so it's a very Spartan approach to the game of having a stealth-based game with just a bunch of scenarios, very well designed. I absolutely love it. We'll talk about Assassin's Creed shortly. I very much enjoy this game. I've enjoyed it for a long time. But then, they have miniatures packs that came out shortly. So, we're going to have miniatures packs we'll get to in a second. But first, let me put all of these away. These are some of the tiles over here. So, you're going to see the different terrain elements as far as these go. You have your compass area. You have the specific kind of just the general terrain. I'm going to punch all these out later. But right now, I'm just going to focus on just getting it all into my box. because I don't want to deal with all the mess right now. We'll deal with the mess later. Here we have this, as far as you know, just general terrain elements. So you have the large tiles, the general large areas, the smaller ones, and these are different degrees of both in terms of the stealth checks you're going to be making of them. It's more easy to be seen on a large tile, so you need to take that into account as you play through the game. I want my battleship. Please tell me there's a battleship. Or the battleship just in my... I want a battleship. Is there a battleship here? See, now I'm just sitting here hoping that we have some sort of battleship. We have a car, a little tank type vehicle. We have that, but that's not what I want. I want a battleship. No, there's no battleship. Where's the battleship? See, now I'm a little annoyed because on that little tile that they gave me, they kind of seemed like there was a battleship. Anything else over here? These are not battleships. These are definitely not battleships. They are boardrooms and kitchens and bathtubs. Ooh, there's a bathtub. I want a bath. I haven't had a bath in a long time. Then we have over here, these tokens over here, as far as these goes, just again, no battleship. I'm going to call this the no battleship. This is so annoying. It looks like it's a battleship. I guess it's all thematic dressing. Window dressing? I don't know what it is, but that's basically your V-Commandos base game unboxing. There's a whole bunch of tokens. That's what the game is. The game itself, though, is like I said already, it's about those stealth-based missions. So you're going to have these kind of scenarios you're going on. I'm going to dump these tokens into this box here. You're going on specific missions, either a sequence of missions or a lone mission, depending on how you structure it. And each one has a stealth-based requirement to it. So you're going to set things up. You're going to be trying to make your way through whatever mission, trying to remain outside the enemy's purview or their vision or sight, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, you don't want them to find you. Alarms might go off. You can turn off their alarms, but you have to be careful because they're going to be constantly getting more and more dangerous. Things are going to get just more and more dangerous as you go through the game. And the goal of the game is to try to accomplish your scenario while not dying. If the alarm goes off too early, you will die. The enemy is stronger than you. You just have to deal with that. The enemy is stronger than you. The only way you survive is by being tactically aware as far as what you're doing and whether you can outpace them as you go through it. But that's going to be harder if the alarm goes off too soon. That's V-Sabotage. Almost like Commandos there. Now the whole game, and the reason it's called V-Sabotage instead of V-Commandos, is because it's loosely based, thematically loosely based. What are we going to do? We're going to do miniatures last. So let's do Ghost, Resistance. Let's do Secret Weapon and Resistance. We'll do Ghost after. So let's do Resistance first. Ooh, these are nice little boxes. Now, the whole game is thematically loosely based on the old PC game Commandos. I don't know if you've ever played the old PC game Commandos. I have. And it feels like Commandos. It feels like Commandos in a board game. It feels like they managed to capture that, like, kind of ducking around a corner and slitting someone's throat and taking out the baddies. They are the baddies, after all. There's a great clip on YouTube. I highly recommend you watch it. If you find the time, just go on YouTube and type in, "Are we the baddies?" Okay? Maybe I'll link to it down below. If I remember, I'll link to it down below. But Are We the Baddies? Amazing clip, so hilarious, but you're basically taking out the baddies. We have V-Sabotage, Infiltration, Combat Operations, Resistance. Now, so they didn't actually say the reason it was being called V-Sabotage instead of V-Commandos, but you have to assume it is related to the video game IP, or at least I assume. You don't have to, you can do what you want. But we got more stuff over here. First of all, we got more rulebooks that I sadly can't keep. Again, could keep, but won't keep. We have our Resistance rulebook, which I don't even know what this does. I've actually never played these expansions. I've played V-Commandos, V-Sabotage, jeez. I've played V-Sabotage, and I've played the Ghost expansion as well. But I haven't played Resistance or Secret Weapons. Haven't played those two. So we have additional equipment. We have special units over here. We have the credits, which are very interesting, but also less relevant to all this over here. That's what we got as far as this. And we have, you know, this little illustration on the back. This, by the way, is how a nice scenario does look. It actually is worth seeing this. That's what your scenario is going to typically look like. And yes, they have a train track. Doesn't mean there's a train track in the box. Apparently not. It does not mean there's a train track in the box. Let's find out if we're going to be disappointed again. This time I think we won't, because they actually showed like a full-on picture. But we'll have to find out. Okay. Yeah, this over here, this whole tossing thing is like my closest equivalent that I can come to Tom Vassell doing his whole, you know, component drop. Like me loosely tossing things over that are going in the garbage anyway. That's as cavalier as I get. We have a whole lot of different like people. These are like VIP type people you're going to have to like rescue or something. They have a whole alarm sounding type situation going on. So they're going to yell if they see you, which makes sense because you do have guns and knives. And I did talk about slitting people's throats. So there is that as far as the game goes. And then we have a train track tile. They did not let me down. Is this a train track? It looks like a train track. We got a train track over here. So, train track over here. That's going to be a train over there. I think so. That looks like a train. We have our regular back over here. Nothing that special there. We got more tiles. More stuff. This is basically just more tiles. All of it can... I wonder how this is going to consolidate. I haven't tried consolidating this. I wonder how this will all consolidate. I don't want it in 7 boxes. I don't feel that's necessary. What is this? I don't know. What is this? You tell me what this is. I have no clue what that is. But it's nice looking. And we have this. We have more trains. We have more trains. This gives you... We have more trains. Look at that. That's more trains. All the trains you want. I feel vindicated. Vindicated. Vindication is a whole different ballpark. That's a different game entirely, but not the point of this conversation. Anyways, this is V-Commandos. Again, the V-Sabotage. Holy, this is going to happen the whole video. It's a good thing I don't have to worry about getting sued for this stuff. I'm pretty sure no one can sue me for calling a game by the original title of the game. I hope no one can sue me. Are there any lawyers in the comments that can tell me if I can get sued for that? I'm pretty sure I can't. The company might not work with me again, but that's only if they get sued. Can the company, that's an even more interesting question. Can the company get sued for me calling it the original title? I imagine not, right? I mean, this is all hypothetical. I imagine no one's suing anyone over this video, but you never know. Anyways, we got more of these cards. We got a single bag this time. It's a good thing I have a collection of baggies. As a gamer, you always want a collection of baggies. Now, the fun part of this is some of these titles over here are French, even though the text is English. So you have to be careful about not throwing out the cards that are technically French or English. We have a German card that's also in English. We have, a whole bunch of different languages over here, including, we have, oh my gosh, this is definitely, you see, that would be confusing to me. That I could see being confusing if you walked into this kind of thinking you're throwing out the wrong language cards. And then, it's a good thing the front of that, if that front card didn't say ambush, but said I don't even know what the French word for ambush is, but if it said the title in French and the text in English, I could see that being tossed. Although you shouldn't throw these things out anyway, I guess. We have the Saboteur. And these are double-sided, by the way, so they have different text and abilities on both sides, different equipment they're going to start with, and different actions they can take. We have the SOE agent, we have the spy, and then we have more missions that you can go on. Again, just gives you lots and lots of content as far as the game goes. And Ghost, one of the things Ghost did, if I recall correctly, oh, we got 2 bags, I was wrong, 2 bags. One of the things Ghost did is Ghost gave you the ability to chain everything in terms of giving you, gave you the ability to chain things so that there were campaigns almost out of the system. So it had a campaign aspect to V-Sabotage. I got it right this time. I will eventually get it right. Anyways, the problem is I've been calling it for V-Commandos for 5 years, and I've been calling it V-Sabotage for loosely a year, and not even a year, with lots of corrections every single time. That's our resistance box. So, with 2 boxes down, 4 to go. We got plenty of time. Now, this game, like I mentioned already, is similar to Assassin's Creed. If you haven't played Assassin's Creed from Triton Noir, fantastic game. Triton Noir. Fantastic game. I don't yet know which of these games I'm keeping. I kind of want to keep both. The problem is they each have better and worse parts, which makes it very hard for me to decide to get rid of either of them. See, basically, when I first played Assassin's Creed, I thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to keep V-Sabotage. I just don't think I have room for both these in my collection, and I like Assassin's Creed better. And that's true, with a caveat. The art, by the way, in this game is fantastic. They had no miniatures, but the art's overall fantastic. And we got more stuff over here. Again, more rulebooks, more extra bags. I'm getting cavalier about how quickly I throw these things out, which is probably not good as far as just making sure that, I don't throw the wrong things out. But we're safe. We seem safe. Okay, that was a very lame throw. It hit the table on the way down. We got more token trays as far as just more enemies, more heroes, more of these little gun depots. We have a boat. That looks like a boat. Is that a submarine? That looks like a submarine. Maybe. I don't know. That's not a submarine. That's the, what are those called again? They're called a, oh my gosh. If you ever played Red Alert, pillbox. They're called a pillbox. And if you're you don't have to play Red Alert to know it's called a pillbox, you're right, but that's where I remember learning this from. This, I believe, is a pillbox, although maybe it has to be more covered. Pillboxes are where you basically have a enclosed area where you can rain machine gun fire down on your enemies. Which, when you talk about it out loud now, sounds fairly gruesome. It sounds like a whole lot of death and destruction and bad things. But as a kid playing Red Alert, it was very fun to mow down your enemies. It suddenly got morbid. This was a fun conversation a minute ago. Anyways, speaking of mowing down your enemies, we have our little medical assistance vehicle over there and an abandoned pillbox. And then we have just, little base inside tiles. Now, most of these are all thematic differences, by the way. You can set these up different ways. The inside versus outside, if I recall correctly, at least base game doesn't have any aspect to the game past just thematically setting up a map in a way that you like the look of it. Do we have 2 bags here? We have 2 bags here. We're getting spoiled. I mean, the last box had 2 bags. They all have 2 bags, just for the 2 different sizes of cards, maybe, or for tokens. But the tokens have to go somewhere, too. We have more events, and the events will also define what way the enemies move, by the way. We didn't talk about this, but if you look in the bottom here, when you draw an event, it's also going to define how the enemies are going to move that round, which gives you a degree of unpredictability, or the variability, I should say, around how you have to tactically plan around the enemies and the AI system in the game. Because overall, the game is it's it's very satisfying because of the stealth-based system really forces you to make calculated risks as far as what you want to do, where you want to do it, and how you want to do it, with a caveat where Assassin's Creed was a lot better. And we'll get to that. So we have Butcher, we have Mortar Gunner, we have an Intel Officer, and then more missions over here. So there's more and more content. We'll get to the rulebook in a second. But yeah, so Assassin's Creed took the V-Commandos system, the V-Sabotage system, and it basically took it to the Assassin's Creed license. Ironically, they took a system that was used for one video game, possibly, but not officially, and then they applied it to an official video game, Assassin's Creed, and they did so incredibly well. I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed video games, and I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed board game. We have over here the book, introduction, the rules, we have our additional equipment, our special units, and then again, some more illustrations as far as just ways that the map could be set up. We'll show you that over here on the top cam again, just because it looks very pretty. This is what you see on the board. I think it's worth showing it to you. But, going back to Assassin's Creed, the biggest thing it did differently than V-Sabotage, I forgot these little token trays. The first thing is it's much more campaign-driven, which Ghost does allow you to do, but it's much more campaign-driven by very default. Assassin's Creed cannot be played as a one-shot without some home rules or something, house rules. I don't know why I call it home rules. But Assassin's Creed makes the whole thing campaign-based, for better or for worse. And I say for better or for worse, meaning it. But also, it basically took a lot of my main frustration with the V-Sabotage is that sometimes you play it tactically, and you just roll poorly, and that's it. The guards are coming, the alarm has been sounded, and there's nothing you can do because you just played the odds and you lost. The odds are present in a way that forces you to play it tactically, but then they can punish you by just the randomness of how it actually plays out, which is less satisfying. And Assassin's Creed gave you a lot more mitigation around the various pieces of equipment and the ways you can level up your characters and gather things that really helped with that. So it kept the sense of stealth that feels appropriate to Assassin's Creed, that feels appropriate to V-Sabotage, and it kept that sense of stealth very present in the game, giving you multiple assassins, which is a little less thematically connected to the video game, but you don't have to play it that way, although I did. I always played with like 2 or 3 assassins. Mostly solo, mind you. That one I played 3 players, by the way. I would never do that again. Well, I would do it again to show people, but I would not, like, do it intentionally again. It wouldn't be my go-to. I think 1 or 2 players is my go-to for both these games. But give you a lot more mitigation, which I really enjoyed. Oh, we got a lot more stuff in this box, or at least it feels like we got more stuff in this box. We got more rules we can toss. We got some stickers. We got some cards. We got more stuff in this box. We got all these things, which are more cards that I'll have to throw out half of them for. And we have this stuff. Again, this I actually played. I played this a while ago. This I covered. I covered the Kickstarter campaign for this one. We got a tank. That's cool. I like the tank. And then again, tanks used to blow people up and death and destruction and all bad things. But let's not focus on that. Let's pretend that war is fun and cool and all good things. It really takes a buzz out of things when you actually approach things seriously. But anyways, we have all this over here, which are the tokens representing the death and destruction, and also the good luck when you don't get caught stealthily in this game. That's what we have as far as that. We have our token trays with more baddies or goodies and all those things, the heroes and stuff. We have these over here. These are going to be, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this to track, what are these? I don't remember this being in the prototype I had. These are going to be, I mean, the art's great. Oh, are these full on, what are these? I love this. Oh, I love these. I don't know what the... I guess this just tracks your character. Oh, this is so nice. Because the XP cards you get, but the artwork on this is beautiful. This just gives you the characters you're used to having from all the various encounters. It gives you the spot for the card, the spot for the XP cards. We'll get to those shortly. But I just love having that full artwork on these. These are so nice. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. Okay. We have our stickers, which I don't know what these are for at all, but I assume it's not campaign-based. Then we have these over here, which have to be in some way partially thrown out. We got these over here. This one can be thrown out. This one can be thrown out. And then this one can be... I like the fact that they're fully divided. That is nice. Like one time, I remember this different game I was playing one time that had French and English cards. And the problem with that game is the way that game handled it is kind of... Everything was kind of mixed together in a way that you had to open up every card pack and find out where one print run of cards had started and where the other one had left off. And that was definitely a more frustrating experience. It was... Because I didn't want to throw anything out. I was like, what if I missed it? What if I misread what goes where? I'm in trouble. I lost all the cards. So that was not fun. But anyways, we have these cards over here. They're going to be the One-Eyed Ghost. I remember that one. I think I played the One-Eyed Ghost. I played this. That was, I think, the original name of the game is from One-Eyed Ghost, and that's the campaign mission I played. We have Death Cheater. We have a puppy. We have a little puppy. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's a little dog over there. And it comes in 2 colors, I believe. No, 1 color. 2 different rule sets, but 1 color. We have Jamie Finlock over here. Is this the ghost? I don't think so. Maybe. Nope, it's not. We have Sergeant Bruno. We have a VF Intel Officer. And then we have more of these missions and things over here. We'll put this into plastic baggie 1. We also have our red dice, which are distinguished by the fact that they're red. as opposed to the black dice you have in the base game. We're going to get to the miniatures shortly. The miniatures are fun. Now, so Assassin's Creed basically did parts of V-Sabotage better. And I was like, you know what? I like V-Sabotage a lot, but I think Assassin's Creed is the better game, and I'm going to keep that as opposed to V-Sabotage. The problem is Assassin's Creed has one problem, which is it's a campaign game, like heavily a campaign game. V-Sabotage, with the Ghost module, you could play as a campaign game. I like that flexibility, but Assassin's Creed is like 25 missions or something like that. Going through it, it's a lot as far as the commitment, and I have plenty of campaign games, and the problem is, like, I played the first, I can't remember how many I played. I played like the first 15 missions, first 18 missions. I played some number of missions when I first got it. I played it a lot when I first got it, and then I put it down one day, and I didn't pick it up for way too long, and I haven't really played it since. And so I'm kind of arbitrarily in the middle of a campaign game. This is the problem with campaign games in general. If you're not playing them consistently on a regular basis, and you don't give yourself detailed notes, you can just kind of be like, okay, I'll get to it eventually. Eventually is like a year now, and I haven't dove back into it. And so I do plan on playing it. I think it's a great game. I want to play Assassin's Creed more. I think it's excellent. But I almost want to reset from the beginning, which kind of means, like, will I ever finish it if I do it that way? Maybe, maybe not. And the question is, do I keep the game that I like more? Caveat, without counting expansions. I've only really played V-Sabotage from the base game and the Ghost expansion. Do I pick the game that I like more, or the game that I'll actually table as a one-shot? Those are excellent questions. I do not know yet. We'll find out one day. These are going to be the XP cards. These are going to be what you get as far as when you go through the kind of the campaign version that Ghost gives you. And if you're like campaign version, didn't you just talk about how campaigns are less likely to be played by you? By me, sure, but by other people, perhaps not. It's hard. It's really hard. Both these systems are really great, and I haven't even gotten into the miniatures aspect. That's another thing. V-Sabotage, very accessible. You open a box, you pull stuff out. It's great. It's incredible. And then we have miniatures, which are going to add to some of the table presence and the immersion, but it possibly does so at the cost. Let's look at the rulebook. It possibly does so at the cost of the accessibility, which is one of the upsides it has over Assassin's Creed. Over here we have the 3 game modes. We have the XP mode, allows you to acquire new abilities and stuff. It may not be just campaign based. I don't know. Because XP mode is its own thing, so we have XP mode, then we have the Lone Wolf mode, the Playlock tokens, the campaign mode, we have the Operation One-Eyed Ghost over here, which gives you challenges and medals. Yeah, I remember all of this from the Kickstarter campaign. I remember all those. The one thing I didn't have is those fun little player boards that let you store everything nicely and look so pretty with the full artwork. That's nice. But that is box number 4. We have 2 boxes left, and we're finally up to the miniatures. It's miniature time! This is V-Sabotage, the expansions miniature pack. I guess, no, let's do the base game miniatures pack first. Because we have the base game miniatures pack and the expansions miniature pack. Let's look at the base game first. It comes in this nice solid box. The question is how much I can condense everything if I keep it all. I still haven't decided what I'm doing. That's the problem. Like, I usually, for me, once I keep a game, I condense it all. I don't have room for 17 boxes, and 2 boxes will do. But the downside is this is a game I don't know whether I want to keep it or not because I know I love it. The question is, what do I love more, or what fits my collection better as far as these games go? So, we have our miniatures pack over here. Triton Noir, miniatures, we've got more baggies, more silica gel, more rule books that I don't need. This is going to be the Regles, which are the French rules, and we have over here the new elements, content of the box, the way you add these. So part of the problem is because of the way the game works is you kind of need to have tokens anyway, and then once you grab the tokens, you replace it with this proxy miniature. So that is a slight frustration because of the way you draw tokens from a bag in this game. I think you draw tokens from a bag in this game. I believe so, if I recall correctly. But yeah, you have all that over here. Then we have our plastic baggies. We have some punch board, which is... Why do we have punch board in our miniatures box? That part I'm not entirely sure of. I mean, it's cool looking. I'll show you some of this over here. Let's show you some of this. This is... I mean, now I just feel like a bad person. Because I'm talking about how, like, this is cool looking over here. We got, like, our turrets, and we got our pillbox, possibly. And we got giant machine guns and things. But now all I can think of when I see these things is war, death, and destruction. So what we have to do is we have to remind ourselves that we're the good guys, and we're coming to kill the people who are using the war, death, and destruction. We are doing the right thing here. I'm not actually against war. It's just, it's more real when you talk about it sometimes. Anyways, over here, we have our tray to store our miniatures, I'm guessing, maybe. And over here we have more tokens. I'll have to read the rules as far as how these things are implemented and added. I don't know. We have more, the amount of tiles we have in something called a miniatures box is fascinating, I'll say that. So we have over here some little motorcycles over there. We have the boardroom areas, a little bedroom. This is a little pretty little pillow down there. We have our, this is a nice little area. I mean, people can stand on it, which is a little interesting. See, there is technically, you can't see it that well, but there's technically spots where people can stand, and this is a spot where if you stood, you'd be falling into the water, but it does functionally work. Then we have the back side of this, and we got more tanks and more pretty little lighting. I like the lighting there. That's very, very funky. Then we have another tile, and then we should be done this one after this. And we got more of that and more machine guns, of course. In any case, that's what we have over here, which brings us to the miniature part, which you're all here for. All of you skip directly here. We got minis. Okay, we got 2 levels of trays here. Ooh, we do have 2 levels of trays. We got some cards, which some of these can probably... Oh, this is going to... Oh, there we go. Okay, this one can go in the garbage over here. And this one can be kept. We got our funky little bags. We got our bases and more clips for various things. But then we got some of the fun stuff. So, this is going to be your, little machine gun areas. You got little machine gun turrets over here that go down the ground. We got a few of those. Looks like only 3. We have only 3. And I'm fine with 3, but also they gave you like 17 between the expansion and the base game. So over here, if we look at this over here, that's what we have as far as your little turret area. So that's all just 2 separate pieces that will go on the board instead. Again, this is going to add to your setup time. You have to factor that in. This is definitely going to add to setup time. There's no question about that whatsoever. But then we have our miniatures. Some of the miniatures that are replaced. We got extra characters in this box, it looks like, I think. But then we have some minis that are overall pretty decent. They made Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed was wonderful in terms of the overall presentation, the quality, all those things. But here's some of the miniatures we have over here as far as these guys. So you have these replacing what you otherwise have in the base game, which is instead of having, well, just little tokens, you're going to have these miniatures that are replacing all that for all the various characters. I'm not going to show you every single last miniature. There's too many different unique sculpts, but we'll show you a bunch of them just so you have access to, some degree of seeing these things. These are the characters, and again, they match the art nicely. I've played as these characters in the game before, and we have those. Let's put this one back there. I think that goes there. Nope, that goes there. That goes there. That's is the problem with minis in general, which is the finding of where they go. We have some of our German soldiers. These are the baddies. You're going to be killing these guys over here. They're the ones who are in the pillboxes trying to kill people, and you're good guys. We're just totally good guys. That's all we are. And that's layer 1 as far as this top goes. More minis, but those are the basic idea of what you're getting there. And we have layer 2, which is going to have a bunch more, well, sculpts of the various enemy soldiers. So we have more than just the single ones lying down. Let's show you a few of these over here. Let's grab 1 and 2. It looks like we have 4 or 5 unique sculpts, so it won't take us long to go through this. And I'll just show you the box after. But over here, those are 2 more of the sculpts. These are the big guys over here. These guys are a little bit more threatening and dangerous. You gotta be careful for those. And then we have 2 more sculpts, it looks like. 1 more sculpt, 2 more sculpts. We got 1 more sculpt for the big guys with hammers and 1 more sculpt for the various soldiers. So here we go. And there we go. That's what we got. More hammer people and more general soldiers who are going to mow you down or attempt to mow you down. But your job is to stay stealthy and not be seen, and then to eventually slit their throat and gather their, their uniforms and dress up in the uniforms and throw a few grenades around corners and trigger the alarm. Grenades will trigger the alarms. This will... Give me a second here. This definitely should go down, but it doesn't want to go down because the class... There we go. But the grenades will trigger alarms, but the good thing about the grenades is that they do take care of all the bad people in the way. So you have to be mindful of the right timing on them, but it will help you when you're ready for them. And then you have like stealthy weapons, which are a big part. You definitely want to use the stealth weapons as much as possible because shooting with a silencer keeps you less exposed or keeps you secret, less hidden, more hidden for longer. We have some bags over here. These bags I haven't actually used yet because the cards are set up differently here. But that is the miniatures pack 1 as far as the infiltration, combat, and operations of V-Sabotage. We are down to 1 box left. 1 box left. This is the expansions miniature pack, and it does have tanks, although the tanks are not to scale. And if you're like, well, duh, the tanks are not for scale, you're carrying a box this size. I mean they're not to scale even in regards to the humans inside those boxes. At least they don't look like they're to scale based on the back of the boxes. Nothing in here is to scale. I think people are bigger than what we have here. We have a plane! We have an airplane! I've been disappointed before. You got me with the trains, you gave me the trains, but I didn't see the boat anywhere, and I'm still a little frustrated and upset about the boat. But we have our rule books, we have our second rule books. It's like, the hobbits, and we have first lunch. What about second breakfast? We have second rule books. We have some doggy tokens over here. That's going to be from those. Don't know exactly how those implement. We got more train tokens. More trains! You're forgiven for the boats. You gave me more trains. I'll take it. We have our, 2 card packs. This one's the one I can toss. This is the one we keep. And we have our airplanes. Okay, so we do have airplanes, so we're not let down over here this time. We'll get to the miniatures parts in a second. We have our airplane tokens, or airplane map tiles, I should say. And again, these are all just thematic. Ooh, look at that tank. That's cool. We have the little airplane strip. What is that? Is that a drone? What is that? A little runway system? I don't know what that is, but it's a cool looking thing. We got more submarines, more boats, so we've kind of been given our boats, finally, in a manner of speaking. Then we have a giant rocket and some runways. These are all fun things over here. And then more boats to just, you know, to round out the lack of boats from the first box. I'm pretty sure there's a lack of boats. I could be wrong. It could be that there were boats. I don't actually know. But I didn't see the boats. I looked for the boats. Then we have the not appropriately scaled tanks. But we have all the little doggies over here. So we have German officers, and they're... We're going to have to kill the dogs. We're going to have to kill the... I didn't make this game. I'm just playing this game. So, we have these tokens over here. We got our officers and our little doggies over here. There we go. And then we have... I think we only have one sculpt for each of those, so we can leave those alone. We have... Ooh, we do have a friendly dog. We have a friendly dog. This is the one we saw earlier. Let's show you some of the friendly people over here, because the friendly people are nice. We don't have to kill those. We might die, but at least we didn't do the killing. Look at them. Look at those little people. The dog is like a playable character. It's not like an ally. It's a full-on playable character, which is nice. And then we have... Let's put this back like here. Let's grab some of the other sculpts. We got these gas mask soldiers, which are not intimidating at all, except for the fact that they want to kill us. But then again, everyone wants to kill us. Gas mask or no gas mask. There we go. And then we have... What else do we have? We have one more sculpt for the baddies. Well, that's not true. We also have the sculpt for the tanks. The not appropriately sized tanks, which I'll show you now. But I appreciate having them all the same. Here we go. Here we got the person, and then the not appropriately sized tank over here. That's what we got. These guys look a little more intimidating. The tanks a little less so. They look a little more funny because of the scaling of them. Let's show you a few of the good guys here, and then we'll call it a day on this. So, that's some more of the good guys. We got a mortar. I remember, what game did I shoot a mortar in? I'm trying to remember. Was it, I guess, Far Cry? I think Far Cry I shot a mortar in. But there are other games. I feel like there were other games that I've shot mortars in. It's been a long time. Did Call of Duty World at War have mortars? I don't remember. That was a fun game. I really enjoyed that game. I enjoyed the Call of Duty series a long time ago, before it went downhill. That's a different conversation and a different video for another day. Honestly, forget board game videos. If you really want to do well on YouTube, all you gotta do is find some sort of like controversial video game topic and just talk about like the death of Call of Duty, how the series died. Those things do far better. Also, I care about board games more, so there's no second tray underneath there, is there? I don't think there is. Nope. I think we're done. I think we're done on our unboxing. We got our tiles, we got our stuff. Here we go as far as the top shot there. Putting all this back. Our tokens, our trays, our things. These will all go back in here. We got these, which kind of vaguely loosely fit over here. This doesn't seem right. No, I need to put this, I need to change the order. This needs to go in here like so, because then you can go like this, and then you can kind of vaguely fit here in a way that maybe works. As long as the box closes, I'm not complaining. And the box closes. That's what we have. That is our V-Sabotage unboxing. I'm going to figure out how to condense all this once I figure out which system to keep. That's the big part of the system that I'm very uncertain of. Again, I think V-Sabotage is a great game, but I think Assassin's Creed does it better. But ultimately, do I keep the game that does it better, or the game I'm more likely to be able to table, because I don't know which category falls there. I don't think I have room for both of these in my collection. They have too much similarity and overlap in what they do. They're both very well done in different ways. One of them is more of a single shot with the opportunity for a campaign, and the other one, and also it's not really built from the ground up for miniatures. I like the miniatures, but it's not built from the ground up for them. Versus the other one is more built from the ground up. Either way, they're both great games. You can't go wrong with either one of them. You possibly could go wrong if you have both of them. That feels like overkill, especially the cost of both of them. I think it depends on what you want more. I think the theme is a big part of it. If one theme draws you more than the other, that could be a factor. But also you have to know yourself in campaign play. I think Assassin's Creed is the better game. But I think it comes at the cost of accessibility. And that's a tough one. So I'll figure it out eventually. In any case, until next time, hope you enjoyed this unboxing and rambling. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. And I hope you have a good one.